Chapter 6. The Beauty Outside the Window. That day was a day I would never forget. As Father and I walked home, he talked to me ever so gently, with his hand firmly but tenderly planted upon my shoulder. "Moreover, my son," he added, "when the summer comes, these hedges, if you walk by their side, will afford you a refreshing shelter from the heat of the sun. Although they now look so brown and withered, they may then blossom with fragrant hawthorn and honeysuckle and wild roses." This conversation, together with my evil conduct, which had given occasion to it, was never forgotten by me, and as I thought upon it and talked it over with my father, by the blessing of God, the meaning of it became more clear to me. I continued to go to school every week with my little Belle after this accident, till I was 14 years of age. By this time, by the care of my excellent governess, added to the private religious instruction of my father, I had acquired an education superior to my station. I had a clear knowledge of the leading doctrines and history of the Christian faith, and my habits were moral and straight, but the seat of my religion was yet rather in my head than in my heart. This is a danger for many a youth in our day. My parents and teachers had done what they could, and needed to trust that God would give the increase. I left school and went out to work with my father, and as I could soon earn almost as much as he, we began to feel ourselves in very abundant circumstances for our station. My father took occasion to supply my mother with such things as he thought she stood in need. After a time, as we still continued to earn a good deal, a spare room which had been used for seeds was cleared out for me, and I bought myself a new bed to put in it. In this room was a window commanding a view of our village and church, half a mile distant, standing on a green interspersed with trees, and beyond, at a considerable distance, I could distinguish the towers of the ancient castle of Carlisle, with some other buildings in the city. Many other beautiful objects also were to be seen from this window: meadows and coppices, which are thickets or groves of small trees or shrubs, flocks of sheep and herds of cattle, farmhouses and cottages, and hills faintly visible at a great distance. My father had taught me to admire everything that is lovely in the works of God, and when he came into my newly prepared apartment and saw all the comforts of it, with the beautiful prospect from the window, his eyes brightened with pleasure, and he pointed to the casement. "My dear son," he said, "the Lord has afforded you many comfortable blessings. Enjoy them and give thanks. But never forget the lessons from the Hedge of Thorns and all I said to you upon that subject. It is very sweet to me," he added, "to think that my children and I are walking within the bounds which our Heavenly Father has appointed, that we are where He wishes us to be, that He hedges us in on the right and on the left, compasses our paths, and our lying down and our rising up. If this thought, even under the shelter of His face, when our path is strewn with thorns, is so exceedingly comfortable, how much more should it be when He crowns us with eternal blessings, when He makes our way to blossom as the rose and the sun shines on all our paths. Oh, my son," he continued, "if you wish to be happy in this apartment or in any other place or situation, sanctify it to God. Seek to do His whole will in it. Enjoy it with a thankful heart, the refreshments He gives you by the way, the beautiful prospects, the healthful breezes, the quiet hours, the sweet opportunities of communion with Himself, the communion with dear relations. But recollect that the moment you attempt to break the bounds appointed by God, You will be pierced through with many sorrows. You will then find the thorns in the very place where, while you walked on in the path of duty, roses only seemed to abound. These words of my father fixed themselves, by God's blessing, in my memory, but did not yet reach my heart, and for this reason I had formed plans of happiness quite different from those which he pointed out to me. I had lately entertained an idea that I should like to go from home and see the world, and I was impatient with the gentle control my beloved parents exercised over me. It was then that the lessons of the Hedge of Thorns would once again be brought to rescue my misguided soul. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of ungodly. Psalm 1:1. What do you think will happen next to our young friend John? Click the link below to go to chapter 7 to find out.